Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Unscripted. There's something about passion, the kind that stays with you long before anyone else sees it, the kind that starts early, grows quietly, and over time becomes more than interest. It becomes identity. Tonight's conversation lives in the space where a lifelong love for cars meets years of building in tech, where the understanding of how people interact with products, platforms, and experiences turns into something much bigger than either world on its own. Because this isn't just about cars. It's not just about crypto. It's about what happens when someone who has been early, who has watched technology evolve from the inside, decides to bring something deeply physical into a digital future without losing its meaning. Taking real machines, real stories, real culture, and asking, what if more people could actually be part of this? Not just spectators, but participants. There's a different kind of conviction required to build something people don't immediately understand. To take collector cars, something historically reserved for a select few, and reimagine ownership in a way that opens doors without stripping away the soul of what makes it special. And that doesn't come without risk. It doesn't come without doubt. It comes from years of experience, from showing up in both worlds, from building, refining, and believing in something before the rest of the world catches up. This is someone who didn't just enter the space, he helped shape how people experience it, blending car culture, product design, and on chain innovation into something that feels real, accessible, and community driven. So tonight, we're stepping into that journey, the mindset behind the build, the road that led here, and the vision still unfolding. And joining me for this conversation is Rex Tracer, where we are going unscripted one more time.
Hey, I'm back for round two. How's
We're
it going?
running it back, Rex. We're running it back because, I do think that the first time we didn't do justice to the conversation. It was technology issues, and you were absolutely a trooper when I kept disappearing, engaging the crowd, and, taking the bull by the horn. So we really, really appreciate you for that.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I totally understand. I've your shoes before, and so I was happy to just kind of keep it rolling.
I'm like, no, Rex, we got to do this one more time. But I am excited to have you and have a proper conversation and really talk about what you are building in the space and what brought all of this into fruition. But before we get started, I do have a few questions for you, because sometimes when things don't go as planned, like last time, there's a reason. And coming into tonight, what feels more important to you or something that you want to say that we didn't even get to say last time?
Oh man. I don't know. I felt like we did. It was, a little bit fractured here and there, but I don't know. I would say, probably sharing a little bit more of my like grand vision for where I see this going, not over the next few months or years, but like I see this as a, multi-decade long company that I'm building. And so I'd love to dive a little bit more into the picture of what we're doing here.
Yes, I absolutely want to dive into that because I think we dove into it a little bit. Technology issues, what we were having, what we were going through, really didn't allow us to really dig deep as to what you're building in the core of it and what brought you into this space in the first place.
All right. Well, where
Wait,
do you
it
want to
froze
start?
a little bit. Okay. I was like, wait, did we freeze? I'm like, please don't do this to us again. Okay,
If
so
anything, it's going to be on my side. I was having a little connection issues with stream I was just on with. Hopefully, everything's good.
oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so if it's not one, it's the other, but you know what? We're gonna pull through.
Yeah.
So let's do it right this time. Now, I do want to touch on a little bit more of the emotional, and then I want to dip into the core of the project. Now, there is something very symbolic, and I don't think that we really touched on it last time, but there's something symbolic about Paul Walker's car. It represents legacy, culture, and emotion. What did that moment mean to you personally when that became part of your building and bringing the car into what you are building on blockchain?
Really was like the perfect combination of everything there that we've been on, of like an integral part of our brand, and be honor Paul Walker's legacy from the beginning, get the opportunity to tokenize his cars first. It was like the lining up saying, hey, you're on the right path. So it was, so have that opportunity presented to us to acquire a car and bring that out first, because it really to give back to his charities and to kind of keep his legacy alive. So fortunate to be able to offer his Ferrari as the first tokenized app.
I think you're breaking up now. Are you there? Can you hear me? Rex, if it's not one, it's the other, right?
Oh man. Yep.
I mean, I think the internet wants us to go a third round, but we're going to pull through.
Mm-hmm.
When you take something tied to someone's legacy, like Paul Walker's, and you're bringing it on chain, do you ever feel a responsibility beyond the asset, almost like you're protecting a story?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's one of the things that we are trying to accomplish with tokenizing these vehicles, is to preserve them for generations to come. And then when you have something that's tied in with somebody who's made such an impact on the culture and the world, somebody who's a household name, to have that responsibility to uh, be the custodian of it, to preserve it. Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a lot of weight on our shoulders to do a good job to make sure that that car is maintained, so our grandkids can see what, the legend Paul Walker used to drive and used to love.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now you've spent years, like years around cars and culture. What did that experience teach you about why people connect so deeply with something mechanical?
I think the thing about the community that's built around cars is there's a shared love over something that's just objectively intriguing and interesting and challenging.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter what your background is, where you come from, what your even like what your beliefs are. You all love the same thing. You're all, struggling with the same, like, bleeding up your knuckles trying to fix something, trying to, figure out what the issue is. And people really come together to uh to almost as like a family to make sure that they're able to get their car out to the next show this weekend, or to get to the racetrack for race day or whatever it happens to be. So there's an inherent camaraderie and community that builds around something as simple as the love of cars. And that's something that we feel that is going to, it's not necessarily a given. It's not something that is always going to be. It takes maintenance. Like
Mhm.
a car requires maintenance to be able to continue to drive it. The culture, the community takes maintenance. And there's been, in my opinion, some setbacks to the car culture since the advent of social media. A lot of people have gotten
Mhm.
away from, getting together just to talk about their builds or talk about, what they're working on, and it's more about clout chasing. And I'd like to, having been in this culture for so long, I remember, the golden years, so to speak, which was like late 90s, early 2000s, at least in my, my opinion. And I feel like we can do a lot, even outside of the tokenization and the Web3 side, but the community building side, to bring that culture back together, to get people to align with the things that brought us out to car shows, brought us out to races, and heck, just meeting up with your friends for pizza, and hanging out, sitting on the hood of your car. We want to make sure that we're doing our part to maintain that culture.
I love that. And I think if you haven't been around that culture, at least attended a few car shows or been around people that actually build cars and really got their hands dirty, it's very difficult to appreciate those moments. I grew up around cars. I grew up, around being, in a small town. We had junkyards and around people that actually, would get pieces, go to the junkyards, build specially for the classic cars. And then car shows, I grew up in Texas. Well, the rest of my youthful years, I was in Texas, car shows, Austin. Do you think that people appreciate cars or, any item when they actually get their hands dirty and really understand, what they're building, what they're doing, or when they invest money versus when, they just go for a show?
Yeah. Well, anytime somebody invests their effort, time, or money, they're going to have a greater appreciation for it.
Mhm.
And that's why, having ownership, that's one of the things we like to say is, um, exit spectator mode and enter the ownership class. When you have ownership over something, you feel much more connected to it. You have much more of a passion for it. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, most definitely, those that get their hands dirty, or even, let's say you've never worked on a car, but you've been working for the last 10 years to be able to afford your dream car. Once you finally once you get it, you want to make sure it is, stays in the condition that it was when you bought it. You want to take it out and share it with everybody else who is going to appreciate it too. So most definitely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Unless you drive like me, like a mad woman.
Hey,
I
you can
think
do
I
both. You can, you can enjoy it and drive a little crazy and still,
I appreciate my car because I know how to change a tire. And let me tell you, Rex, what I did. I have a low profile car. So every time that I would park, I would hit the bottom, the plastic part of it on the, what are they called? Those cement things. And I would scrape it
Mhm.
and pull it. And one day, I don't know what I hit, but I was under that car trying to fix it. And, when you do things like that by yourself, you learn to appreciate your things a little bit more versus just driving crazy. But you know, was there anything you had to let go of mentally or personally to step fully into this next phase of what you're building?
Uh, yeah, probably, security is the best way of putting it. Anytime that you are chasing your dream and, you have a big vision for what you're able to accomplish,
Mhm.
that kind of to quote Elon Musk, the first few years of being an entrepreneur is like chewing glass and staring into the abyss. It's not always going to be fun, but as long as you have your eyes focused on the on your goal. There's another saying I like to collect my quotes, but um, uh, give a man a why and he can bear almost any how. So yeah, it's not been easy. I've been working on this project for nearly 3 years. Probably uh, missed a lot of opportunity to invest in other cryptos that could, other tokens or assets that could do really well because I'm fully invested in myself. I could choose the easy path and go and, get a corporate job, but I wouldn't have. So, um, I have to accept that in the short, it's going to be a lot of struggle. And I also have to appreciation my wife for standing by me as I work towards this goal. Because being an entrepreneur can be very difficult. Fortunate that she's
And we lost you, Rex.
so supportive.
Rex, we lost you at the part where you said you are very fortunate. Are you back?
Oh, yeah, I'm very fortunate that I have a
You were caught. Yes, you were cutting out. There you go. Little bit better. And you cut out, and we lost you at the part where you were talking about your wife, and you said that you were very fortunate.
okay. I saying that I'm very fortunate that she is supportive of my vision and the sacrifices we're making to.
The first year is always a tough year, I think, for any entrepreneur, anybody that's building something. How important is it to have that support system? Because sometimes if you don't have that support system, it makes it that much more complicated. But what would you tell any entrepreneur
Mhm.
that's starting something, that first year, and they truly believe in themselves, they want it to be successful, whatever they're building, but sometimes you do have to pivot and change a little bit.
Accept that things are going to take expect them to. Nothing ever happens in
Mhm.
the time frame that you want it to or think it might. Uh, and don't be afraid to pivot or to adjustments when something's not working. But on your question about the support system, yeah, I think nobody nobody can build in a vacuum. You've got that are going to kind of pick not feeling like getting out of bed in the morning or kind of even if you don't, let's say your spouse or your family, you don't have that support system or a lot of ways as well.
And we lost you for a second there at the end.
Am I back?
You're back. You're just a tiny bit pixelated, but I think that we can see you now. Let's give it a few
Saying.
seconds.
You got
Gotta love technology, right? Last time it was me, now it's you.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Now, Rex, behind the vision people see today, because you've been out there, we've been seeing a lot more of Drvn, Labo, what you're building. We're seeing you at events, conferences. What was the hardest season that you had to push through that no one really knows about?
I would say it was probably the earliest days of getting started. It was mostly just me, and I had one business partner that was able to help kind of keep things from a financial perspective, but it was I was wearing a dozen hats and trying to get in the project, start to build a community and get people interested in. Yeah, I think the early time for any entrepreneur, especially when you're bootstrapping, is going to be when you are wearing all and don't have to take to put off your plate and all of that.
I mean, literally, when you're building and you're an entrepreneur at the beginning, before you have a team, you're literally an octopus. And I think that's a, a comparison that I love to use. I mean, because, it has 8 tentacles, but literally that's what you do as an entrepreneur because you are wearing many hats, arms, hands, whatever you want to call it. But I want you to take me back a little bit. Take me back to the beginning, to what originally pulled you into both cars and crypto. And at what moment did you realize those two worlds could actually come together?
Mhm. Well, I guess a little bit of my backstory. I've grew up in a family, so I've always been surrounded by car culture. My dad raced cars in the 70s and 80s. My family worked for Mercedes-Benz since 1890. I grew up going to like Indy races and things like this. So it's just always been a passion of mine. Playing with Hot Wheels as a kid, and then once I was 15 years old, I started racing. My dad and I built my first race car and started racing at 15 years old. And then when I was roughly 19, I started drifting and did that for quite a few years. And so, yeah, it's always been a major part of my life and a big passion of mine. On the crypto side, uh, I got into it because I was really into Austrian economics and hard money, gold, and all of that. And then when Bitcoin started to become a little bit more popular, I got into Bitcoin in 2013. So I wasn't, super early, but by most people's standards, very early. And I thought it was just really fascinating that you could almost have like a gold monetary model for something digital. And so I've kept a really close eye on it, bought my first Bitcoin and some other coins in 2013. And I even back in the day, I did a podcast with a friend where we talked about crypto in the early days. And it was much more of a hobby at the time, but it was probably around 2016, 2017 when NFTs started to become a thing that switch flipped in my head. And I saw through the PFPs and the Like the crypto kitties was the thing that initially was like, whoa, there's something really interesting here, that it goes beyond a cryptocurrency. And my mind went initially straight to how can NFTs be used to provide value or solve problems in the real world. And the that was when I started my first Web3 project to explore this. And it was tokenizing like luxury physical goods. I called it Phygital at the time. Don't quote me on this, but I think I was the one that come up with the term Phygital. I said it before anybody else said it, but yeah, I don't know. I might be wrong. And I started like an apparel brand that the highest end product we did was high-end watches that were all uh, authenticated using NFTs. And the idea was to then take that to like the Rolexes and, other brands like Louis Vuitton, and say, there's a lot of replicas and fakes of your products. By assigning an NFT to it, you can prove the provenance of and the authenticity of it back to the manufacturer. I think it was a little early. Nobody really understood what I was doing. And so that didn't go anywhere, but it stayed with me of how do we connect the digital and the physical. And the moment where that kind of crossover happened between cars and crypto was when I was actually buying my project car. I had just recently, or I was on my way out from being the VP of Web3 for a startup decentralized social platform. And at the same time, I was in the market for a project car. And the car, one of my favorite cars of all time is it's called a Nissan 240SX, or in Japan it was called Sylvia. And I had owned two in the past. And when I was in the market for my third one, I saw how much the prices had increased. They had nearly tripled since when I sold my last one. And we're talking about a late 90s Nissan. And then it got me thinking. I was like, a lot of the cars that my generation loves, mainly Japanese sports cars of the 90s, the values are increasing like crazy. And I started going down the rabbit hole of fully understanding the collector car market, and understanding that these are alternative assets. Collector cars are something that high net worth individuals purchase and invest in to have as alternative investments. But a lot of the most collectible cars are way outside of the price range of the average person. So there's an opportunity I see here to tokenize them and offer the ability for anybody to become a co-owner in a vehicle that they otherwise would never get access to.
I love that. What was a moment where Drvn went from an idea to something that you knew you had to pursue and bring it into fruition? And how did you select the Drvn name?
Yeah. So the very first thing I did in my journey to build Drvn, it's Drvn, not DRVN, although a lot of people say it. Yeah. Think about it like license plate to make the word. I created a newsletter, and that's been going on for over 2 years now. I put it out every Friday, and you can find that at drvnculture.xyz. Yep, there it is right there. So we're on issue number 115, if I remember correctly. If you scroll down, I think you'll see, 115. And this was really the starting point, where I was just gathering news of all the coolest things in car culture, but weaving in the automotive Web3 side. There's a number of brands that are building automotive products in Web3, and so through writing this weekly newsletter, it sort of kept me going to go and build out the rest of it. And I went from there and developed the, what do you call it? Like the MVP app myself with a little help from another developer, and won a hackathon with that. And that kind of showed, hey, there's, there it looks like there's some interest here, and was able to then, bring in a bunch of other people to the team, and continue building.
So not only are you building Drvn, and I love that you corrected me on that because now I don't have to like sound it out,
Yeah.
and it's easier to say Drvn. And so not only are you building that, but you're also writing a newsletter every day that goes out every day,
Once a week.
once a week.
Yeah, every Friday.
That is wild. And you have to do research on that like what does it take for you to put that newsletter and send that out?
I've gotten really efficient having done it for 2 years. I can knock one out in about 4 hours now. And throughout the week, me and my team are looking for different headlines and news to add to it. And so shout out to Gary. He does a lot to help me find a lot of the news as it drops. And then more recently, I actually have effectively trained a like AI, LLM in my voice. So I'll take a story and drop it into my chat bot, and it will allow me to get a good first draft of the of each article or segment within the newsletter, and then I just go through and I proofread and edit it, so it really sounds like me. So I wrote probably the first 90 or maybe 75 completely manually, and then I was like, you know what, I can train an LLM on my writing style to make it a lot easier to knock these out.
I freaking love that. I mean, AI, you either use it for good or you stay behind, right?
Yep.
Now, for someone hearing about Drvn for the first time, and they might not know about or a lot about blockchain or on-chain or anything like that, how would you explain what you're building in the simplest way possible?
Mhm. That's something that me and some of our community members and team have been talking a lot about recently. Like, how do we
Yeah.
really dial in our messaging for people that aren't familiar with Web3? And what we've come to is it's a decentralized car club. It's a global car club that you can join, and the thing that makes it unique is that we're offering ways for automotive enthusiasts to monetize their passion through being a member of the car club, and that can come in the way of becoming a fractional owner of a collector car, and very soon our users will also be able to tokenize their own car, put it on the blockchain, and generate revenue through the audience and the interest that builds around their project vehicle. So there's that aspect, and then also giving them tools to create and manage car clubs, events, meetups, and also sell sponsorships for your car or your race team or event, what have you. So all of these things that people are already doing in it within the car culture, now we're just creating a resource for them to do it efficiently and monetize it, and doing it in such a way where it doesn't feel like Web3, which I think is really important. If we want to attract the automotive enthusiast community, it's got to be simple to use. We don't want to have them have to learn a bunch of new lingo and, I don't know, learn about Web3 in order to participate. So I guess I took it from the simple and then I expanded it. So hopefully question.
No, yes, no, I think that makes a lot of sense, and that really does simplify it, and I'm glad that you did expand on that response. Now walk us through how it actually works. Like, how does someone go from being a fan of cars to participating in ownership through your platform?
Mhm. So yeah, you have the Driven Vehicles app pulled up. This is accessible on the web, vehicles Drvn VHLS, no vowels, app, um, the base app in Farcaster. So when they come to the app, they can sign up or log in. We actually are about to completely revamp our login and our onboarding flow, so it's way easier for Web 2 folks. Yeah, right now you have to connect a wallet, but soon it's just going to be just an email or connecting like your X account. Once you have your
Okay.
account, there's a few things that you can do. So at the lowest level is to join the community is to buy some Buster tokens. So once you're logged in, you would go to the Buster Club page, and you probably can't access that right now because I see you're not logged in. But from there,
You know
you
what?
can. Mhm.
I think I have a wallet that I use. I don't have anything in it, but like for stuff like this, I could just log
Mhm.
in and then we can
Okay.
show um, my
Cool.
tester
Yeah.
wallet.
Yeah. We can show the login, sign up process right now. I will say it's about to become a lot smoother, but at least
Okay.
you'll get a good idea of it's uh, what it's like right now.
Okay, perfect.
All right,
So,
cool. So
I
now
mean,
asking you
as
to create an account.
okay, hold on. I'm just gonna enter a name because I do see like a lot of things popped up. Hold on, I'm gonna share. Oh crap! Wait, did we stop sharing? Hold on. Let me just enter a name really quick. I'm gonna just do my name, Leslie Mota, and then let me bring it back. Let me share it again. That way, everybody could get the feel of it with us while we're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
got it.
yeah, just so everybody knows, in this next update we're going to be pushing, going to be logged in just a few seconds, and you're going to skip the profile section. You can just go in and fill that out later on at any point.
Okay, so all of this, I can fill it out later on. Okay, so just sign up
Um,
at this point?
no, not right now. You do have to actually fill it out right now.
Oh, okay,
Unfortunately, yeah.
so I do have to fill out about
Yeah. So
me,
if you
photo
just put
change,
in,
or I mean, this is easy enough, right?
let's see, yeah. So put in, yeah, just personal info, and then thing in the bio, but you will need to put in a profile picture. So if you put in a profile picture, so change.
Okay, change, open. I just in case, I don't know what my pictures come up. Okay, so I'm uploading it. You know what? Okay, let me move it over here because that way you can see what I'm seeing and it's not pulling it up. Okay.
Mhm.
Are we back? Let me see if we're back to the regular tab. No, I like that we're doing this just in case anybody else is having difficulties or like me,
Yeah.
and I could be like, okay, Rex, help me through this. Okay, so when I change picture, I am going to select a picture
All right.
and it's not
Should,
doing anything.
yeah, it should pop up in just a second. It loads the
Okay, so
picture
be
to
patient.
IPFS, so yeah, it might take a sec.
Oh, so if I did it 5 times, then I screw it up?
Oh no, you should be fine.
Okay, so other than that,
Hmm.
it doesn't let you bring that up until everything is completed that it wants you to complete.
Yeah, for now it's uh, that's required, but we did get a lot of feedback from people that the sign up process was a little bit too slow to get in. So looking forward to having that updated. Yeah, it's weird. Looks like the profile picture has not loaded just yet.
Should I try a different one?
Yeah, go ahead and give it a try.
Let me see. Trying to bring a picture. I don't know why. Maybe is that one too like small or something?
Shouldn't be a problem. Well, if you're having issues uploading a photo, I'll definitely let my developer know, and we can skip that for now.
Okay, so we'll skip that. We'll go back just for the sake of.
Yeah, but now you can see why I'm so excited to get the updated onboarding flow in here. All right, yeah, I can just close all that out.
Wait, can I create, is this like where it takes you after? Like create your garage?
Yeah, so then it creates your garage, which is
Oh, I still have to go.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Just exit out of that. Yeah. Oh, you're stuck in a loop.
I'm stuck in a loop. Okay, so let me go ahead and get unstuck out of this loop. I'll go back into the app.
My developer said, tell her to, oh, wait, hold on. I just
Okay.
found it. Tell her to disconnect the wallet, refresh the page, and reconnect. Try again with the image, with the profile image. So it looks like you might have to disconnect and reconnect.
Okay. But you know what? I appreciate that we're going through this because, if anybody is watching it, they can see what the process of. Okay,
Yeah.
so where does it let me disconnect? Here, let me share my screen again.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you may need to disconnect from your browser extension wallet. He says, tell her I'm sorry. It will be fixed by tomorrow. Yeah, I think we're going to get that new onboarding flow done very quickly.
Okay, so I have to disconnect from my browser. You can't see my wallet, right?
Nope.
It's not pulling it up?
No.
Okay. Manage. I was like, wait, what is it doing? Okay, so we'll come back to this, right?
Okay, but yeah, I can speak to it. So yeah, once you're logged in, and again, it'll be way easier when when you if you want to get involved with the community, we've got the Buster token, so you can buy Buster token directly from the Buster Club page, and Buster is actually the governance token for our top level DAO for the Drvn Foundation. And so everything that happens within our ecosystem is all governed by the community of Buster holders. So that's the first step to get involved. If you're interested in what we're doing, and you can go to the next step of getting in Founders Club. So through the app, you can mint a Founder NFT. There are 3 different tiers. There's the steel, carbon, and titanium. And these are, there's only 1,000 of the NFTs. They serve a lot of utility. Actually, if you go to the top there, you'll see Drvn Club. There we go. So this gives some information about the keys. And if you scroll down, we'll see. So the one of owning a Fear Benefiters Club key is whenever we release a new asset on the platform, any of the holders will get lifetime whitelist to the pre-sales. So they're going to get first access to every asset that we release on the platform. And there's 3 stages to each pre-sale. So in stage 1, you'll need a titanium key. In stage 2, you'll need a carbon or titanium. And stage 3, any of the keys will get you in. But the other thing is that the Founders Club members, this is for the people that really want to be heavily involved in building this alongside of us. So they are going to be the ones that are going to be able to submit proposals to the DAO and really be the ones that steer the ship, so to speak. And anybody with Buster tokens can vote, but it's got to go through proposals that are submitted by the Founders Club members. On top of that, when you mint your key, you instantly get about 20% back in Buster tokens. So that gets you a little extra bonus. And there's going to be a bunch of like airdrops and prizes and rewards that Founders Club members get regularly. And we're working on a PFP NFT collection. So all of the holders of the keys will get airdropped a PFP as soon as that goes live. There's a ton of other perks and benefits. So if you are watching this and you want to learn more, go to Drvn Z, and you can find all the information there. And then third point people to do is to get involved with the for Paul Walker's tokenized Ferrari 360 Modena. And it's currently in stage 3 of the pre-sale. So any one of the keys will get you into the pre-sale. Or if you hold just 10,000 Buster, it's like, I don't know, like $10 worth of Buster, you can also get access to it. But only those that hold the keys get the lifetime access to every asset we release. So yeah, with those requirements out of the way, you can buy your RS1 tokens and now become a co-owner of Paul Walker's Ferrari.
And I do see that all 3 of the keys, you have lifetime premium membership. That's awesome.
Correct. Yeah. So release some more premium products like through our media side. There's going to be some of the like videos that are going to be for paid subscribers. If you're a key holder, you get access to everything for free. So they're going to get, massive benefits with every single product we release for the lifetime of the company.
That is super dope. Oh, wait, it stopped sharing. I was like clicking on the mint. And when I click on the mint, it still takes me back to the website. I think this is a user error at this point because it's like not letting me disconnect. I cancel. You know what? I think I'm just going to have to reboot my whole system when we're done here. Because I still wanted to go back to the website. I love the way that you have it on the left side, like the dashboard and all that kind of resembles and mimics a car, a dashboard and all that stuff. So that was super cool. Now, what has been the biggest challenge in building Drvn so far? Has it been like the technical, the culture, or even just getting people to understand it?
Yeah, considering we're really focused on onboarding automotive enthusiasts, those that aren't Web3 natives, there's been challenge in trying to explain what we're doing. And I think we've really sort of dialed in our messaging, so it's a lot more easy to understand. as we've been doing this. But honestly, I would say, and this is something any entrepreneur can relate to, is trying to build an ambitious project, basically bootstrapping. Don't really have a lot of investor funds. We're doing this with a small, scrappy team and minimal budgets. So, trying to achieve our long-term vision and put out the updates and everything on a cadence has definitely been challenging. So, um, yeah, I would say, just the bootstrap lifestyle has probably honestly been the most challenging part of it.
The bootstrap, yes. How do you see the role of RWAs, which is real world assets to some over the next few years, especially when it comes to assets like cars?
Yeah, and sorry if you're hearing my dogs barking in the background, but
Okay.
uh, the I honestly I think in the very near future, pretty much everything is going to be tokenized, anything of value. So it's really an inevitability right now. It's just we're in early days of getting people to understand the value of tokenizing assets. But it's going to be everything from boats, planes, cars, watches, commodities. Everything will be tokenized. So it's just the way we're moving. um, I think the real value for bringing cars on chain, there's so many different ways we can take it. There's the collector
Mhm.
cars and treating them as like investment vehicles, pun intended. There's also um, more of the uh, like what's the word I'm looking for here? Supply chain. So being able to uh, tokenize parts or even vehicles to show which factory they've come from, which batch. It might even make it easier for companies to um, really dial into, like when they do a recall, they'll be able to identify, oh, it was this batch of vehicles that were affected by this defect. And that's something that putting the cars on chain can really help. um, as well as like a good example would be currently California DMV is actually putting all of their registrations, I'm sorry, all of their titles on the AVAX blockchain. So,
Oh,
registering vehicles on chain is going to be a really big use case. And it's something that we're building too, as I mentioned earlier in the interview, um, allowing any of our users to register their cars on chain and tokenize them as well. So, yeah, there isn't going to be an aspect of the automotive industry, let alone any industry, that's not going to be um, rolled into the blockchain future.
I like that. The world is evolving so fast. If someone is
Mhm.
watching tonight and feels like their passion doesn't fit into where the world is going right now, what would you tell them about building anyway?
Um, if their passion doesn't fit with where the world is going, I think that where there's a will, there's a way, and as long as you are not being stubborn about technology, because there's no escaping the forward march of technology and progress. We have to adopt AI. We have to, come to terms with the fact that uh, blockchain is the future. It's more a matter of when, not if. So, definitely, find a way to pursue your passion, but make sure you're not putting yourself in a position to be left behind, because you may not, you may be worried about AI, let's say. Um, it's, there's, I guess, in a sense, we've got to see the writing on the wall and, uh, and be willing to pivot. And that really comes down to the heart of it is if you're an entrepreneur, but you're not willing to pivot to do what's best for the success of your company, then you're likely not going to succeed. And that goes for adopting emerging technologies as well. So my best
Absolutely.
advice.
Years from now, when people look back at what you've built, what do you hope they say you've changed, not just in the industry, but in how people experience ownership itself?
I would say the biggest thing is the access that we're providing to allow people to tap into what is a very expensive hobby, a very expensive passion. Not everybody can afford to own a Ferrari or, even have a car that they can just take to races for fun. And we're offering that access and that breaking down those barriers so anybody can indulge in their passion in the automotive culture. So yeah, I hope that people look back on what we're doing at Drvn and say, if it wasn't for them, then I wouldn't be able to do what I love.
I really like that. Okay, I know that we're at top of the hour, but do you have some time to do some rapid fire questions with me?
Sure, let's do it.
Okay, so while we do rapid fire, I will also bring on some of the comments that we've had from the audience. Everybody that's been here supporting the show, really appreciate you all. The Drvn community and everybody else, unscripted community, appreciate you very much. Okay, Rex, let's get started. And whatever comes to mind first.
Okay.
Okay, JDM or American Muscle?
Oh, JDM.
Skyline GTR or Supra?
GTR.
Turbo or naturally aspirated?
Turbo. Yep.
Built, not bought, or bought, not built?
Oh, built, not bought. Yeah.
Garage nights or track days?
Track days.
Rare collectible or daily driver?
Ooh, wow. That one's actually tough. Let's just say, given what we're doing, I'm gonna go with rare collectible.
Bitcoin or base?
Base.
RWA or DeFi?
RWA.
Utility coin, utility token, or meme coin?
Both. That's what Buster is.
You're like, you can't have one without the other.
Yep.
Build fast or build right?
Oh, built right. Yeah.
Own the full, I think I already know what you're going to pick on this one. Own the full car or fractional ownership?
Well, for most people that want the coolest cars out there, they're going to have to go fractional ownership.
Yes. In real life car meet or X spaces?
IRL. Yeah.
Community driven or founder led? Okay, so Aston or anywhere else?
Aston.
Austin, like living in Austin, Texas.
I thought you said Aston, like Aston Martin.
It's my accent.
Considering everything we've done to get here, so I'm very, very happy to be here in Austin. Yeah.
Love it. Early grind or late night build?
I'm partial to the late night builds. I'm a night owl.
Yeah, same too. I used to be an early bird, and now lately I've been a late night owl. But with that being said, Rex, when people look back at what you built, what do you hope they felt, not just what they owned?
I would say connection. I hope that through everything that we're building are able to foster, deeper connections, build stronger communities, and work together to be able to, uh, I guess, indulge in what they love in a way that doing it on your own never could. So if they could feel a sense of that's what I really hope to facilitate.
I love that. And this is what this space is really about, not just building products, but building meaning, taking something real, something rooted in passion, and finding a way to bring people into it in a way that feels bigger than themselves. And I think the chat that we just had wasn't just about cars. It wasn't just about crypto. It was about a vision, risk, and what it looks like to build something people don't fully understand yet, but one day they will. Um, are there any parting words that you would like to leave any of the community or anybody that's watching or that might tune in and watch the show in the future?
Yeah, I would say find your tribe. That's something that there's so many opportunities to do so in the Web3 space, because there are so many people building amazing things. But don't forget to also do that in the real world. We all need, real life human connection. And if you can manage to do both, then you're definitely going to be, you know, set up for success. So find your tribe. And if your tribe is in the automotive space, hope you'll come and join ours.
Absolutely. I know that we have huge fans here. I took the comments off, but Tammy is a big, huge car fan. So I know she's going to be in there trying to get the keys. Where are the keys? And Rex, I do want to thank you once again for being so gracious, sharing your time with the Unscripted show family. Once again, we had technology issues last week, and you were gracious enough to do a second interview with me. And I hope to have you back in the future to show what you are building and continue this momentum with you, and hopefully get in one of those cars or a different car, or get on the racetrack with you in Austin and race
Yeah.
you.
Yep. There will be plenty of opportunity. So happy to take you for a spin.
Absolutely. Again, thank you. Again, thank you all, the Drvn community. Hope to see more of you guys. And until next time, stay unscripted. This was Raw, Real, and a Human Conversation with Rex Tracer, founder of Drvn Labo, which we will see soon on the racetrack or in the racetrack on a chain. Have a good evening. Thank you again, Rex. Have a great one.
All right. Thank you. Cheers.